Good evening. In my work, I develop a dialogue with natural space, which is based on my experience with mountain climbing. I use sculptural actions or interventions in space. First project we can see is called bivouac. It was, bivouac is a very specific situation for me from mountain climbing. It is a time when you climb a big wall and you have to spend the night in the wall, and you just have to sit and wait for the next day you can continue. So usually it's a time when you can't really sleep, but it's very unique time to rethink your things which are going on or just simply meditate. So this was the first project I have done where I used sculpture as an actor or performer. And experience with this project brought me to a new one, very present, which I'm about to complete this summer, hopefully. So historically, this project, which I'm going to present, it is called Citizens, draws on the normalization period in the 70s and 80s in Czechoslovakia, and intense restrictions with these political situations implied for the individual and society as a whole. This period symbolized an accessible form of self-fulfillment and the possibility to go behind the political limits of the Iron Curtain. Climbers who achieved the most challenging ascent in the High Tatras were allowed to gather twice a year in the Alps or other major mountains abroad. Sport was a powerful motivation. In one season, the mountaineers covered more high mountain routes in the Alps than all others from the rest of the world. Through their sheer wheel bridges were built between Western and Eastern Europe at a time when the government was exerting its political efforts in precisely the opposite direction. As a sculptural group, Citizens is modeled on 5 outstanding mountaineers from Czechoslovakia: Pavel Pochylý, Miroslav Schmid, Igor Koller, Stanislav Glejdura, and Alena Čepelková. Each personality is represented in a bivouacking position against a mountain wall and grouped in a portrait-like fashion. Over a 3-year sculptures which I transport will be placed on different mountain walls in Europe and possibly North America, where the mountaineers actually climbed. The sculptures as a performance in period clothing, bivouac sacks, and sleeping bags will replace the original real actors who were indeed performers somehow. Each sculpture will be photographed in its location by an IP camera powered by windmill or solar panel and satellite connected. The camera images of each sculpture will be virtually transmitted to various exhibition spaces worldwide and grouped together side by side in a single online projection. The viewers will be able to follow the processual changes of the sculptures in real time. The sculptures are carved in wood, a material which undergoes processual changes. Wood is living and impermanent at the same time, with the capacity to adapt and reshape itself under the influence of environment and weather. The choice of material is meant to emphasize the symbolic level of the work. The materialization of possible inner mutations which the human being encounters on the way to freedom. The abstract form is added by the factors of time, the specific operation of weather conditions on the chosen material and virtual transmission. The projected image will be an indicator of the material conditions and at the same time a processual work whose changes will be recorded by digital technology. Static objects will come alive through interaction with the monumental nature that environments them. Based on the processual changes, a non-verbal dialogue will emerge, and relating to its environment, an open form of monument whose individual parts are hundreds of kilometers distant from one another. Through online transmission, the spectator will be able to feel part of a circle of symbolically communicating people. Primarily, my artistic effort is to capture the materiality of shared experience. These exceptional individuals achieved on a secondary level. Citizens takes the form of a universal statement about discovering and experimenting with one's personal freedom. These are images from High Tatras. Before we could see images from Norway where I installed the sculptures, and step by step I continue with installing them, and hopefully this summer it will be completed and it might start work, and this autumn all together, hopefully. This is the sketch of the video installation in real time as I imagine it could work all together. And each sculpture will brief with another one thanks to the space where they are actually installed.